Yes, in the last class we have seen how to create the frame sets, right? So as we know what is a frame set, right? Till now you have to understand where is the frame sets. Got it? Yes. Where you have to suppose to use a target should be mentioned in hyperlinks. Where you have to suppose to give the name attribute in frame sets. Okay, frame src. In the frame src you have to suppose to give the source of a file you have to display. Okay, so till now we have learned these concepts, right? Also we have learned for a frame border and border as well as a frame spacing. So frame name and frame target. Got it? Yes, sir. And next our concept is no resize and scrolling. So if you use these two attributes in your frame sets, yes, now we are seeing this no resize forms. Okay, so our last concept in this frame set, already we have learned frame set and what are the attributes of a frame set: border and frame border and frame spacing. So frame set border is stands for the border for frame sets, and frame border is of individual frame border of each frame, and frame spacings. Okay, we have learned. Now we will see scrolling. Here the scrolling attribute is exist. Scrolling means auto, so you can navigate. Okay, here the scrollers will comes. Is observe here you are using this scroller in your web page. Also you are getting the scrollers. Using these scrollers you can navigate. And no resize means you are unable to resize the content if you specify as no resize attribute. Okay, if you specify as a no resize. And scrolling, if a scrolling is auto means auto scrollable facility is available, and no resize means you can't resize your window. Okay, resize your frame. Clear? So let us see this how it will work. Let me see here. The value will give for the scrolling as yes or no. Even if you specify yes or no, if you give the S value for the scrolling, then you will get this scrollers. If you say it is a no, you are unable to scroll it. Okay, so to understanding this better, let me open this concept and let me made in the frame src. Okay, for this understanding purpose, let me take this sample program. Where is our first one? In our web folder it is there, right? Web folder, I'm having frames, right? I'm taking this file. Okay, I'm taking this file, frames files. I'm opening it with notepad. So here we are having some contents. So for understanding that better, we are taking this content. Okay, now let me see here. You are taking the value as a scrolling, right? Scrolling attribute. Scrolling is equal to, I'm saying it as a no. If I say it is a no, you are unable to scrolling. Okay, whether frame border is specified, yes. Now no resize, I'm saying no resize. Okay, no resize. If I specify this attribute, then what happens? If I specify as a no resize means you are unable to resize this HTML file. Okay, which HTML file? First .html file you are unable to resize, and it is also not possible for scrolling where it is in this first column. Okay, let me see. I'm saving this file and I'm opening my folder, and this is my frames, right? I'm opening this file. Now if you observe here, it is not having the scrollable option. I can't scroll. Even we are having the content, I'm unable to scroll. But here it is possible. Please observe here. Here it is possible. Even if I am having the content, I'm not able to scroll. Because why? You have set scrolling as no. If I press as yes, then now you just observe here. Now I'm refreshing my content. Okay, where is for file? This is our file. I'm refreshing. Now you are identifying the scrolling option. Okay, so got it? So if I use this attribute where we have to supposed to use the scrolling and no resize, it should be in the frame source. Okay, not in the frame set, it is in the frame source. If I mention it as a no, then what happens? you are unable to resize, and unable to resize and unable to use the scroll options. Got it? Here no scroll option is there. Okay, yes. Now you have to supposed to mention it as an S and remove this no resize attribute of a value and click the S option. Now I'm opening my browser, I'm refreshing. Here I'm getting the scrollable option and I can scroll it, I can resize it. Got it? Clear? If you specify no resize, then you are unable to resize the content. So now I'm specifying no resize. If I specify the no resize, then once again I'm saving and I'm opening my browser, sorry, here the browser, and I'm refreshing. Now you can scroll, but you can't, please observe here, you can't drag it here. Whenever you place here, you are not getting. But let me see whether it is scrollable. No. Got it? It is also not not resizable. Clear? Yes. Whether it is resizable? No resizable. Okay. So likewise it will affects. Got it? If I remove this no resize, then you can resize any frame. I hope so, but I'm not sure. Let me see. Yes, I can resize it. I can resize it. I can also resize this. Got it? Yes. So that is the usage of scrolling attribute as well as no resize in frames. So till now we have seen a lot of things. So try to design your timetable by using HTML codes, HTML tags, okay, table tags, and also you try to do some of frames programs like these programs you have to supposed to do, and if you do only you can get the knowledge. Okay, try to do one format and try to solve it. You have to write your own format and you have to try to solve it. Okay, so that is the concept we have learned till now. Now we are moving to the next concept, that is HTML forms. Okay, next our concept is HTML forms. Okay, so whenever you are joining the college, you have filled one application form, right? That form is called as admission form. In the same sense, if you want to develop any application, for example, you are having an account in Gmail or mail, you are having mail account, right? How you have created that mail account? By entering some of the information in the boxes, right? In the boxes you have entered some of our information and you have filled some information in that text box and you have clicked some buttons, submit button, right, or login button, right? You are having Facebook account, I hope so, right? How you have created the Facebook account? By specifying Gmail account or your email accounts, right? So in that it consists of certain controls. Okay, it consists of a certain tools. Based on that tools you are interacting with that tools and you are processing your data. Okay, so forms are a vital tool for the webmaster to receive information from the web server, such as their name, email address, credit cards, etc. So by using these you are processing these information. A form will take input from the viewer and depending on your needs. So what does a form consist? A form consists of various controls. Based on that controls, it will accept the inputs from the user. Okay, you may store that data into a file. Whatever we have access from that forms, we can store your data, place an order, gather user statistics, register the person to your web forum, etc. By using these kinds of forms, you are processing some of our e-commerce site, right? Nowadays apps, you are using the apps. That apps are nothing but these some of our HTML forms. These HTML forms is converted into apps. Okay, so by providing your data is stored in some location. You are filling your all data, right? All data will be stored in some location and you are process that location and you are displaying that data. Got it? Then we will see what are the tools we are having. Let me see. I will open one mail. Let me create a mail. I want to create a mail. Let me check. Okay, wait. Yes, let me take some information. So that is I want to open an account. Okay, suppose if I want to open an account, I am clicking the Gmail. Now I want to create an account. How to create an account? ಒಂದು ಖಾತೆಯನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದು ಹಾಕಿ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಖಾತೆಯನ್ನು ಬಳಸಿ. It is there but it is not giving right. I am typing it as a google.com, and here it is having Gmail, and typing Gmail, sign up. Please observe here, Gmail sign up. So whenever I am typing this Gmail sign up account, it is asking some of our information. So this is the text box, this is the text box, this is the text box, and this is the text box, this is the text box. All these are the tools of a forms, and here having one button. Okay, all these are the interactive tools. By if you want to develop these kinds of forms, then you are using forms controls. Okay, clear? Yes, I hope you are understanding this concept, right? Let me see what are the various tools we are having. For example, if I fill some information, random information, okay, I'm giving some random information and I want to give it as a smc, smcc, smc, bca, a, no, I will give it as a ssmmcc. Okay, now I will give the password. The username is taken already. Let me try with another. I'm giving ss, smc, smc, bca, smc, smc, bca. Let me see, it has not taken. Right, smc, smc, bca. Okay, now I want to give the password maybe as your choice. I will give 1 2 3 4 5 6. I'm giving 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, next click the next option. 8 characters are more for password, so let me give 7 8, and also confirm it 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and I'm giving the next. What happened? Use a strong password. It is asking for strong password. It requires one letter. Please observe here, these kinds of data you are going to be filling. Okay, I'm giving smc 1 2 3 4 5 6. I will give smc 1 2 3 4 5 6 just for understanding purpose. I don't create this. After click the next button, it is moving to the next page. Here also you are identifying various controls, right? So let us see what are the fields. Here it is asking for your phone numbers, right? So how it is asking? By using your, right, here recovery option. Here the date of birth is there, so this is an option button. Please observe here, month, it will show the month. Here day, it will show the day if I select the month. If I select the September, we have to type the day and year. Okay, and here it is called as a drop down button. This is called as drop down button. This is a in form, it is called as selection button. Okay, this is a selection option, selection control. This is your text box, but what about this? This is the option button, selection option. Okay, these are the selection options. Class, we are suggesting that HTML forms, as we know, in the forms consist of various tools, right? Those tools, by using that tools, we can process your data. So by using these HTML forms, we can create a lot of data collections. Got it? So wherever we are using, I already explained, if you are creating a Gmail account or any mail accounts or Facebook accounts, they are gathering your data. Okay, so while collecting the data, that forms consist of certain controls. Let us see what are the various controls available in your forms. First control is text fields. So it is a text box. Okay, text fields, in the sense it is a text box. The input tag. Please observe here, it is an input tag as a few attribute that you should be aware of. Let us see. If you want to insert a text field in a form, then we have to suppose to use input tag. This input tag consists of a few attributes. By using that few attributes, we can place the controls in your forms. Okay. Now we will see some of them. Let me check what are the few attributes of input tag. Okay, first one is the type attribute. Let us see what is done. Determines what kind of input field it will be. So if you are using the type attribute, then you have to suppose to specify what kind of input field you are going to be taking in your form. Okay, for example, possible choices here suggesting as text. What is the value you are supposed to supply for the type? Text, submit, and password. It means by using this you are going to getting one text box if you use the type as a text. If you use the type as a submit, you are getting the button, and if you use the type as password, you are getting a text box with password field. So the content will be masked. Masked means it has encrypted. If you type your name, it will be show some password characters. Got it? And next attribute of input is name. So you can also give the name of your fields. Okay, for example, if you are using multiple forms, so, multiple fields, if you want to process, then name will play a prominent role. Okay, the name will play a prominent role. So let us see what is the name field. Name attribute suggest assigns a name to a given field so that you may reference it later. Okay, so for every text field or every controls, it having a name. By using that name, we will process the data. Okay, next, size attribute. Also you can specify the size of the control. Okay, sets the horizontal width of the field. By using this size, you can specify the width. Okay, and the unit of a measurement is in blank spaces. Then what it will consist of? It consists of you are entering the data, but it will accept only the specified width. Okay, and next one is max length. And max length specifies you can type maximum number of a character in that form. Okay, let me see a sample program here. Here what we have done. Okay, HTML, title, body. After the body, we are creating the form. I am taking first name colon. Afterwards, what I'm doing, input type, I'm specifying it as a text. I means I want a text box, and I'm also specifying the size. So it will appear 10 size, 10 width of a size. And max length, it will accept only 40 characters, and you are giving the name of that text box as name. Okay, afterwards what you are doing here, you are using the break tag. Okay, in the next line you are taking the password. So for the password, input type is equal to password. So already we have specified here what are the type you are specifying. Okay, so you are specifying input type as a password, and you are specifying the width of that text box is 10, and the maximum length of acceptance of that password is 10, and the name of that control is password. Okay, if you try to execute this program, you will get in your window as this form. Let me check whether it will work or not. I am copying. Okay, after copying, let me wait. Let me minimize. I want to do some personalization settings. Okay, if I don't do, then my screen will be elaborated, okay, expanded. Let me get my settings, personalization settings. Here I'm choosing the resolution as 1280 into 768. Is it fine? No, I'm taking it as a 1080 into 720. Yes, keep changing. Fine. Now let me take one notepad. Okay. Okay. Let me take notepad. Is getting 250. Why can't say it? Minimizing. I'm opening my notepad. Notat. Okay. So hope it is visible, right? I'm pasting now. Yes, it is also visible, right? So let me write in the proper way. After the HTML, it is always better to take the head, okay, and the head. Clear? Now I'm closing the head. Yes, body. So what tag you are using? Form tag, right? It will start with the form and ends with the form. First I am taking the name, okay, it is a label. In front of the name I want to take the control, that is text box. So if you want to take the text box, you have to use the input tag. In the input tag you have to specify type attribute. For the type attribute you have to assign the value as a text. If you assign the text, then you will get in a text box, and you are specifying the size. Its width is 10 and maximum length it is 40 characters. Let me make it as a 10. Okay, if it is exceeds a 10, what it will do? And I'm giving the name of this text box as name. Afterwards I'm giving the break tag. Okay, yes, and control will come to the next line. I'm taking the label as password. In front of a password I want to get one text box. Whenever I'm taking that input tag, by using this input tag only we can place. I'm using the type attribute. Okay, so in the type attribute I'm setting the value as password. So if you specify as the password, whatever you are typing it will be masked. Masked means encrypted. Okay, it will show some designs, it doesn't show your original character. Okay, and the size you are specifying as the 10, and the maximum length is also 10, and the name of the password is password. Here I'm completing my form and HTML. Okay, now let me save my file. Okay, while saving you have to ensure, what you have to ensure? You have to ensure where you are actually storing. Okay, I'm storing in the desktop. Okay, I'm storing the desktop with form.html. How to save it? While saving you have to supposed to give form1.html. I'm giving just a simple form, right? Afterwards I'm saving. Okay, after saved, now let me check. I'm minimizing this, whether this is our form, right? I'm right clicking on this and opening with Google Chrome. Is loading. Yes, now you're seeing that our form has created with the name. Here the text box has get and password. Here the text box you have defined. How to get this text box? We have to use the input tag and type attribute. In the type attribute you have to specify as a text. If you specify as the text, it will accept the text. Okay, please observe here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Afterwards it is not accessing. Why it is not accessing? Because you have set the maximum length, for example smc space bca space first. I'm typing, but it is not accepting, right? Why? Because you have set the attribute of max length as a 10. Okay, so here the width is a 10 and max length is also 10. Suppose if I change the width, okay, so let us check first. If I enter the password, I'm entering the password. Whenever I'm typing, it will show some masked characters. Okay, these are the masked characters. How you have got these masked characters? You are using the input tag, but you have specified the type as password. If you specify the type as password, then it will, okay, mask your original character. If you try to type other than other after the 10th character, it won't accept, because you have set the length as, you have set the length as, okay, you have set it the length as only 10. Okay, suppose if I made a modification here as size as 50, the text box width will be increases. And if I make it as a 80, the size oh sorry, not as a max length is 40, 40 is enough. If I made the size of text field, then it will be increase. Let me check. Got it? So this is the size of the width 80 of your text box and 50 of your text box. Clear? Understood? Yes. Hope you are understanding this concept. Let me make it as a 20, and here it is size is 15. I think it is enough, right? Likewise, you can specify the size. I'm saving, and this consists of a name. So this name is for some tabulation purpose, calculation purpose. Okay, so let me refresh. If I refresh, you are seeing here, okay, in this whatever the max length you have specified, that much of a character will accept. Afterwards it won't accept. Clear? So this is your form. And next we'll see HTML form email. Then we will see form email. Okay, now we will add the submit functionality to the form. Generally the button should be the last item of the form and have its name attribute to send or submit. Okay, here afterwards, if you are creating an account, the last control appearing on the form is submit button. Okay, to get the submit button, we have to use form input type. Okay, and also here we are having the name attribute. In the name attribute, you are setting the value as a send or submit. Okay, let me see what does this name defines. Name defines what the label of the button will be. So if you are using the name attribute, what will be the text should be appear on the, what will be the text should be appear on the button, it will be shown. Okay, in addition to the submitting button, we must also add a destination for this information. It means whenever you click that button, it has to store somewhere else, right? So specify how we want it to travel that place. Adding the following attribute to your form will do just this. So if I want to fill that information has to store somewhere else. To store somewhere else, we are using some other attribute of the form. So what is the other attribute? One is method. Let me see the attribute of the form as method. We will only be using the post functionality of the method which sends the data without displaying any information to the visitor. In the method, what is the value you are assigning? You are assigning the value as post. Okay, for example, you have seen your PO result, right? You have accessed through from site. How you have accessed? You have posted your register number. You have entered your register number in a text box and you have clicked that button. Okay, whenever you click that button, you are posting that data, right? So you are requesting that data. Okay, so if it want to work like that, then we have to use the method is post, and another attribute is action. Here the action specifies the URL. URL stands for uniform resource locator. What is URL? Uniform resource locator. It will send data to. Okay, so whatever you are requesting, the data will sends you. We will be sending our information to a fake email address. Here one sample program is there. We will send a sample program. It is only possible whenever you are connected in internet. Okay, it won't works, but you just understand this concept what we have done in this program. Here HTML title, creating a simple email form, and body form. We have started the body. In the body we are taking the form tag. Okay, in the form tag we are taking the name input type as a text, max length 40, name, and the name property we have given for this is name, and password field, and we are creating input type is equal to password, size as 10, and max length is equal to 10, and the name of that control is password. Now we are writing one more input. In this input type we are getting the submit button. Then what is the value should be appear on that button? It is the send. Okay, here the form end. Okay, now we will see if you run this program, you will get a send button, a button with caption called send. So if you get the caption, then what you are at, which attribute you are using? Value attribute you are using. Okay, this is the last program only. For that I'm adding this statement only. Okay, I'm copying and I'm coming here, and before closing the form I am pasting this line. Which line I am pasting? Input type is equal to submit, value is equal to send. Now I am saving and I'm opening and I'm refreshing. If I refresh, I'm getting a one button, right? What is the name of the button? Your name is not given. This is the button and the value is appearing as a send. So if you want to give the caption as a send, then which property you have to use? You have to use the attribute called value. Okay, in the value, whatever the value you assign, it will be appear on the button. Okay, so that is this program, and it won't works anything. Okay, it won't do anything. If you want to do any work, we have to check it. Let us see, and please observe here. If it works, if you do anything, nothing it will do. Okay, name, for example, i'm typing I'm typing, it doesn't do anything. Okay, we have not posted any information. K Praveen Kumar, and here I'm posting password is some 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and I'm clicking the send button. It doesn't do anything. Did you done anything? Nothing. So but you are identifying the form 1 values. Please observe here. What is the name value? You just observe the URL. You just observe the URL. It has posted. Okay, it has posted. Please observe the URL. We have entered the name. For the name I have entered the K Praveen Kumar, and the password this is 1 2 3 4 5 6, and it sends, but it is doesn't know where to send. That is why in your URL you are identifying whatever you have posted. Clear? Yes, fine. Okay, now we'll see And our next control is HTML radio buttons. Okay, so these radio buttons are very much helpful for creating your quizzes, questionnaires, and other websites that gives multiple choice questions. So if you are provided multiple choice questions, if you are developing that quiz program, then we have to suppose to use these kinds of radio buttons. Okay, these are the interaction controls. Okay, interaction means you are clicking that and you are making the usage of that controls. Okay, let us see couple of attributes of this radio button. Okay, so what are the attributes of a radio button? First one is value. Let us see what is the value will do. Okay, specifies what will be sent if the user chooses this radio button. Whenever we have set the value, it will specifies what value as to supposed to send. Okay, only one value will be sent for a given group of radio buttons. So in the radio buttons, it consists of several options, but it will accept only one. For example, in your application form, there is a field called gender. Either it may be male or female or transgender. Right? Nowadays, we are seeing that transgender. Right? So you can opt only one thing. Can you opt all the three? No. Right? So such kinds of accepting one value is possible. And next, it consists of the property attribute. Property or attribute is similar. Now next attribute is name, defines the set of radio buttons that it is part of. Okay, name specifies what is the name of that particular radio button. Okay, so this kinds of a name attribute is very important whenever we are processing the data. Okay, here we are having two groups, shade and size. Let us see this sample program. Now I'm writing the HTML title. This is radio button. Body is started. Now we will see. Okay, here the form method is taken. Last we have not said. Here the method. For the method I am posting. Which method I am using? Posting. Posting means I can send my data. So where to send my data? I'm giving the action. What is the action I'm specifying? So I want to send whatever the data to this file. Okay, for this email. Okay, otherwise we can also give one document. Okay, but that a document address must be a complete one. Okay, let me try, we will explain. Okay, now what kind of a shirt are you wearing? I'm writing one question and here it gives a shade label. For the shade label I'm creating the control. What is the control I'm creating? Input type is equal to radio. I'm getting a radio button and its name is a shade and the value appearing on that radio button is dark. Okay, so it is showing as a dark. Okay, and its value is the dark, and in front of a radio button you are displaying the dark. If you click that radio button, the value will be accessed as dark. Okay, and next one more radio button I am creating. Input type is equal to radio, name is equal to shade. I am giving the same thing. You have to supposed to give the name as a same value, but the value property should be give the other. Right, it is light. Okay, for the light, the value of a light, you are giving the value as light. And next I am taking the size. Input type radio, name size, value small. If it is a small, small. If it is medium, if it is medium. If it is large, it is large. And also I am taking input type is equal to submit, value is equal to send. Okay, yes. Now let me check this program. I will order this program. Okay, for your understanding purpose, because we do not have internet. If I have the internet, whatever the submission you have given, it will be stored in your appropriate mail ID. Okay, yes. Now let me take new file and I'm pasting. Okay, now I'm pasting. It is always better here, some of the tags are missing. Okay, it is always better to use the tag perfectly. Okay, body tag, here the form method I am using the post. Here the action is given, right? Here the action place I am giving the address of my form 1. Already we have created the form 1, right? Let me minimize this. This is my form 1, right? Okay, so here the content has to be submit. Okay, I'm copying. Please note, I'm copying what I have copied. What I have copied, I am copying the address of, I'm copying the address of URL. Okay, this is the address I have copied. This is the address I have copied, and I'm pasting that, and I'm getting that information. Okay, let me check whether it will work or not. We will see. Okay, instead of mail id where to post my data has to be posted in form 1, so I'm giving the address, right? Okay, let me save. Hope you have understand this concept. By using this, you are creating one radio button, and its name is a shade, and value for the dark you are giving the dark, value for the light you are giving the light, and for the size you are taking the size. Value for the size is, for the small it is a small, for the large it is large, for the medium it is medium. Afterwards you are taking one button, right? Now I'm saving this file, save. Okay, I'm saving here in desktop only. Please observe here in desktop it is showing the desktop, right? I'm storing it with form2, orm2 .html, and pressing the enter. Yes, now I have stored. Okay, now I'm minimizing this. Okay, this is my form 2. I'm opening with Google Chrome. You can use any browser. So I'm getting my data like this. What kind of a shirt are you wearing? If it is a shade, it has the dark is there, the value for this dark you can opt dark. If you choose as a light, you can only choose light. You can only pick one only. You can't pick here two things. If it is a small, it is a small. If it is medium, if it is medium. If it is large, large. Okay, so then what is the value property you are specifying here? Here the value properties for small is a small, and the name is size. For 3 it is a, you have specified the name as a size, name as a size, name as a size. Okay, whenever I'm submitting these data, we're supposed to submit, actually if you specify the email address it will store email address, but I have sent in my form, right? I'm clicking send. Yes, got here. Okay, and I'm closing here. Okay, whether it has got here. Let me open this file, whether it has posted. Let me check. Not posted, right? But it doesn't know where to supposed to post, right? That is why it is giving an it doesn't show any value, right? If I place a new file here, I'm taking a new document. I'm giving a new document or new word notepad. Let me take a notepad. Okay, I'm taking a text document. I think it is better to take a Word file only. I will take Word file, and let me check the new file. Okay, what is the new file I'm taking? File, save. I'm saving in the desktop. Let me save it in the desktop. We'll see whether our data will store in this or not. Okay, I'm storing. It has already stored, I think so. Let me check. Is there not node right? I'm opening and taking new file, saving as desktop. I'm giving it as 1. Just click the save. Okay, so where it is saved, it is saved here, right? I'm copying the proper address URL. Let me copy. Not showing the properties. Yes, so you are to supposed to give the complete path 1/.docx. Okay, that you have to supposed to note. We will see whether it will store or not. Okay, got it? Yes, this is the value I'm mentioning in my notepad. This is the notepad where to submit the value. I'm submitting the complete address here. I'm pasting. Okay, slash 1.docx. Let me check whether it will work or not. I do not know, and I'm running. This is my form. This is not our form, right? Let me minimize. I'm closing and I'm opening my form. Chrome. Yes, already we have saved, right? Let me save once again. I'm saving. I'm refreshing. So I'm picking the dark and I'm picking the size small and I'm clicking the send. Please observe here the content as sent it to the 1.docs where the location is exist. If I open it will show in the notes. I'm opening but I do not know whether it has stored or not. Okay, if it is stores, fine. If it is not stores, we will see in the next class what's supposed to store. It has not stored, right? But it is redirecting. Okay, but it is redirecting. Why it is not showing means we have not given the full-fledged information what supposed to store. Okay, we will learn the concept in coming chapter, right? So I'm taking and I'm sending. In the same sense, radio checked. By using the checked attribute, we can tell our form automatically check a default radio. So whenever an option is opened, it has to supposed to show a default value should be open. Okay, so for that what I am doing, please see here. By using the checked attribute, we have to supposed to use a checked attribute in a radio. It will show default that option has been selected. For understanding this, here we are using, please observe here, select one. Here the form we are choosing the select one. Input type is equal to radio, name food Greek, radio name food Chinese, radio food. So here the checked property I am setting it as an S. Okay, if you set as an S, this Chinese as default selected. Okay, I'm copying this. Already we are having that program and I will post here. Okay, let me post by pressing the break tag. Okay, and let me use the paragraph tag and close the paragraph tag and try here. I'm pasted, right? Let me see. Before closing the form you have to do that. I'm saving and I'm opening my file and I'm refreshing. Okay, so if you observe, after the button we have placed hence, got it? After the button we have placed, hence it is coming there. If you cut here and if you paste here, then your button will come at the end. Okay, now I'm refreshing. If you observe here, by default Greek is, sorry, what happened? Any mistakes? Yes, Chinese, right? Here it has not shown. Italian, Greek, Chinese. Afterwards, let us take the break tag. It is always better to use break tag here in the form. Okay, I'm running. If you run, it will show Italian, Greek, but Chinese is not displaying. Why? Why it is not displaying? In front of a Chinese you are doing right. Is there any mistakes? Italian break. Let me use the break tag also here. It is always use a break tag better. Okay. Let me use break tag, and here also break tag. Okay. Let me check now. Let us check what it will happen. I'm saving. I'm refreshing. Okay. Greek is selected. Select one. Tennis is not displaying. Okay. Select one break. Italian is given. Word wrap is there, right? You're supposed to remove word wrap. You're supposed to remove that word wrap. We will get within a single line. That is a problem. Now we have to see why the Chinese is not coming. Why the Chinese is not coming means, please observe here the double quotation mistake. Okay, so that double quotation. Let me save and come and refresh. Now it is a showing. Clear? Likewise, it is always better to do that. And I'm using the word wrap. If I don't use the word wrap, the content will move in a notepad till a long. Okay. Yes. Likewise, you can create and default this value will be checked. Okay. You are seeing how this is checked will come. By default it is checked. Got it? So whenever you are loading your web page, that default option is checked. So if you want to get like that, then what you have to supposed to do, you have to supposed to do in radio input type is equal to radio value. You have to set the value, as well as you have to set checked is equal to s. What is the value you have to set? Checked is equal to s. Checked attribute, you have to set the value as s. Okay, and the name attribute has to be used. And next we will see checkboxes. Suppose if you want to mention your hobbies, or if you want to pick more than food items, recipes. Okay, in the above example we can pick only one options, right? If you want to pick more than one options, then what we have to supposed to use? We have to use checkboxes. That is the thing you are suggesting. Checkboxes allow for multiple items to be selected for a certain group of choices. Let me see. The checkbox name and value attribute behave as the same as radio button. Here the name and value of checkboxes attribute is behaving as the same as a radio button. Okay, every checkbox is having a name and every checkbox is having a value attribute. For understanding this, here a program is given, HTML title body form. Here the form starts, select your dish, favorite dish is given. Here the input type you are taking. Now you are specifying it as a checkbox. Okay, and you are giving the name as check dish, and here I am giving it as a pulao. And input type is equal to checkbox, name is equal to check dish, and you are giving the value as biryani. Okay, in front of a biryani, you are getting a one checkbox. Right. Likewise, you can create n number of things, and afterwards last you are specifying input type is equal to submit, value is equal to send. If you try to execute, you will get this form. Okay. Let me compile and run. Let me execute this file. Okay. I'm taking this and copying. Control C. Let me take and file new and paste. Okay, I'm not modifying anything. Okay, and better to have edit tag. Always it is better. Otherwise, there is no usage of Okay, you are using the form control. Which control we are learning now? Checkboxes. Okay, yes, name and value is not given. We are taking only the name attribute. Now let us save this with form 3 in the desktop. I'm storing it as form 3.html and I'm saving here, and I'm opening minimizing this desktop, sorry, minimizing this form, and I'm opening form 3 here. Okay, if you run this form 3, you are seeing checkboxes. Got it? So here you are seeing checkboxes. In this you can pick more than one items. Likewise you can pick. Okay, yes, so that is the purpose of checkboxes. And next is checkboxes selected. Default it has to be some of our checkboxes has to be pre-checked. Okay, if you want to make earlier we have seen that checkbox radio button, right? What we have done for the radio buttons, what we have done, we have used one property called checked. Here also we are using simply checked attribute, checked property, and you have to set either yes or no. If you set as default, it will come. Okay, here one program is one code has taken. Let me see. Here the font color red. Please select every sports that you play. So you have to select the sports. And soccer, here it is a soccer is given. Input type I am taking as the checkbox. Here the checked is yes, is the default is given, right? And the name of that checkbox is giving as sports, and the value should be soccer. Okay, and football, I'm typing the input type is equal to checkbox, name is the same, value is football base, right? Only one item is checked. Okay, so if you try to execute, it will default one, soccer is checked. Got it? So let me compile, let me copy this. Already in the last program it is there. I will copy only this much. Okay, I will copy this much and I will paste in form. Inside the form only, let me put here the break tag. Okay, break tag is better, and you are pasting, and now you are saving the form 3, and I'm coming here and I'm refreshing. If I refresh, see here it is not having default. Here the default checked is there. Okay, for the soccer I made it as a default checked property as a yes, and for the basketball also for the checked property as yes. Got it? Yes, clear. Okay, so likewise we can execute these programs. Hope you are understanding this concept. We will continue in the next coming classes. Thank you. Okay.